The Dubuque Area Arts Collective presents Ruix Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Ruix Podcast. My name is John Jeagle, and we're at episode number 10 now. Double digits, so that's pretty exciting. But it's also a milestone episode because we are going to have our first female guest on the show today. It's been kind of a sausage party here at the Ruix Podcast, and today we're going to break that streak, and I'm going to talk to my first woman. Well, not my first woman ever, but first on the show. And I'm excited because our guest is Kristina Castaneda. She's a local artist, musician, humanitarian. You might recognize her name because I've mentioned it here on the show as a member of Arc Numbers. She plays around the city a lot, not the least of which will be at the next Ruix Music Series show, Music Series 8, happening this Friday on October 16th with Gosh from the Quad Cities and The Deep Light, Sean Healy from Venereal Crush's new project. So that'll be a good show to look forward to. I'm excited to talk to her for a couple different reasons. I mean, one, just because I said, like the female voice has been sort of underrepresented on the show, and that's not on purpose. That's just how it's worked out thus far. But also because Kristina and I, we go way back. We've been friends for quite a long time, and we even have a little bit of a history together. So it should be a fun time. Besides that show that I just mentioned, we still have the Dark Slide Skateboard show coming up November 28th with live music. I'm going to talk more about that show as it grows a little bit closer, but just keep your calendars marked. That's going to be upstairs at the DAAC Gallery. But let's get into the interview and go check in with Kristina and see what she's been up to. Yeah, because this is the 10th episode, and this is the first one in the double digits.
I love 10.
Yeah, and double D's is what you just said.
That's so inappropriate. Like negative A, John. That's not nice.
Oh, come on.
Making fun of me.
That's not.
That's
not even accurate.
I nursed 2 babies.
Well,
Am I the first woman on here?
I was just going to say, yes, you are the first woman. It's been
estrogen.
All guys so far.
Watch out.
So, yeah.
I want to see Rick's face during this thing, but he's hiding behind that table. And his beard.
We have a trail to blaze here today.
Right
on. So, Kristina, hi.
Hi, honey.
How are you?
Is that a note card?
It's, talking points that I wrote out, but I'm hoping I won't need them.
Propped against your whiskey glass.
That's right. Just for the time being. Thanks for being here.
Hi, dear friend. Thank you.
How are you? What's going on with you? Lately?
Yeah, I'm a busy lady, but busy with all stuff I believe in. So I feel lucky. I think about all the people running around that are doing shit that they hate.
Right.
But it's all good.
Yeah. I guess I could say that I'm doing mostly things that I love. A few things I hate, but, whatever.
Well, it's life. But I think it's important when because everyone's like, oh, I'm busy. And I think it's important when you're busy to, differentiate and say, but it's a good busy.
It's a good busy.
Yeah.
And this is a good busy, too. Although I'm in this math class right now, and it's a fucking nightmare. I don't even want to get into it, but I'm just saying, Why
are you taking math?
Because I have to finally get this degree, which, whatever. I don't want to get I don't want to focus too much on this. It's an associate's degree.
In
nothing in particular.
Radio?
Maybe. I have until either the end of this year or the end of the following year, if I'm going to get a bachelor's, to decide what it's going to be in. Mm-hmm. But
so math is
anyway. I needed this math degree. So it started out okay, and then today I was I was going to do this homework that is due tomorrow. In the 2 hours I had between work and when I was meeting with you, and I spent the entire time on one problem.
Oh, dude, skip it.
Yeah, linear programming. I can't wrap my brain around it. But anyway, that's not what this is about. I am here with Kristina
Well, I'm curious. I want to
Castaneda.
ask you more about your math
Okay,
later.
well, you can.
It was my
Go ahead.
favorite subject growing up. Isn't that weird?
I actually really liked it a lot too, but
No, it's
it's just it's been so long since I've done it, and I don't think I've ever done linear programming.
yeah, let's talk about that later.
Okay,
Sounds awful and awesome.
so you and I, we go back pretty far.
Yes.
I think, and I was thinking
I
about
love
this.
you. We hug and we say we love each other.
Yeah, absolutely, and I
It's
do
like-
love you.
It's like me too. I love you. It's locked in.
But okay, so like I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe you don't know, that when I first met you, it was like we worked at the same call center,
Is that when we met?
ADC, yeah, Advanced Datacom, way back in the '90s.
That's when we met.
I think so. That's my first recollection of meeting you anyway.
What
And then
year?
we didn't really become, probably 96, 95,
Okay.
96. I remember.
What was I like in '96?
Well, you
don't
weren't
remember
in my
myself.
department for very long.
In your
What I remember is that like I was
in my
a lead, which it was like a supervisor but without the pay kind of thing. And like I was yelling at somebody for calling another employee a fag. And
Good.
and you came over to me and said, that was really beautiful. Thanks for doing that. Like,
did.
I was really, really offended by that person. I don't even remember the person's name, but yeah.
Oh, I don't remember this instance, but that sounds like
I've talked to you about this before. And
John, late at night.
no, I know, you're right. But yeah, that's
great.
that's when I first meet.
Aw.
But before that, like I guess I don't really know much about you before that. Like prior to that, like were you born in Dubuque or?
Yeah, I'm a Dubuquer.
Okay, that's
no,
what I thought.
wasn't born here.
You weren't born here, but you pretty much grew up here, right?
Yeah, we moved to Guatemala, where my dad's from, so I learned Spanish for my first language. Then we moved back and to Madison, and then here, and mostly here. Moved away for a little bit.
Away. Where?
I moved to Texas for a while. I moved to Milwaukee for a while.
When was this? Like young?
Before I got pregnant.
Okay.
So somewhere in my 20s.
Okay, so I knew you.
Traveled around a lot. I would worked at Silver Dollar for 4 years, and Michelle would let me take off for like 2 months, and I'd run around the country.
Okay, I sort of remember
barefoot,
that.
And then, but no, Dubuque's home for
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
And I'm increasingly proud to say that the older I get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And 2 wonderful children now, right?
My babes.
Yeah. When did, so first of all, you're an artist and a musician.
I think so.
That's a distinction I think.
like the visual arts, like
Mm-hmm.
2D, 3D. That's what you mean.
Yeah, not that a musician isn't an artist, but.
Yeah. Because I've been teaching art now for 10 years.
Right.
That's what I went to college for.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel lucky that I get to be able, because they overlap. I'm never singing a song without making paintings in my brain.
Okay.
And sculpture is musical, and
Yeah.
it's just all over the place.
Absolutely. Oh, so you sculpt too. I think I knew that.
Yeah, I mean, with all my jobs and my kiddos, I don't necessarily do it like at home or anything, but I'm teaching it all the time, so that's fun.
Well, I want to go down that avenue first because
Let's go down that avenue.
Well, yeah, because
Let's cheers.
Okay.
Yay!
We're drinking a bottle of Old Crow, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know if you ever get the urge to like do installation work or like hang your paintings, things like that, like at a Voices or at a
Every
salon.
day.
Do you really?
Every day.
Because I've never seen I've seen your stuff, but I've never seen you actually do that. So
Yeah, because right now I think my focus of expression is music and dabbling with collaboration here and there. So that I've learned that because I want to do everything,
right.
if I like stress out about that I'm not doing everything, then I don't do one thing. And so I'm learning that I need to like pick just maybe one or two things, and this is what I'm doing for right now, and not freak out
Right.
that I'm not doing the other things. Just having patience and trust and being like, when that time arises, then the right things will surface and I'll be doing it. So right now,
I have to get a handle on that not freaking out part.
yeah, because we're human, the not freaking out.
Of course, yeah.
But every day in my brain, I'm always thinking about, this happens a million times. Oh, that'd be so cool if, or
more stuff.
oh, I'd love to do this.
So do you?
Doesn't stop.
Music's always kind of number one, though, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Music's number one.
Yeah, and writing. You write too sometimes, right?
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Started a couple books.
Have you
Love
really?
poetry. Write the music.
Yeah. We'll talk about the
Love
books
it.
for a minute.
Yikes.
Do we stand a chance at actually seeing them?
Yeah, someday. But see, then it's like, I want to do the music now while I'm young. I'm like, the book. I've like, John, is this weird? I've like compartmentalized the decades of my life a little bit and thought, because I want to do everything, what can wait till I'm like 50,
No, I don't think that's weird.
60, 70. I think I'll pick up the writing and the painting a little more then. And like for right now, there seems to be an urgency more for
Right.
music, you know?
Yeah. Well, especially since a lot of the people that you hang out with are musicians,
Yeah.
you know.
I want to.
I think that's that kind of that it's pretty awesome that you're ambitious enough to like think, okay, in my 70s, this is what I'm going to do. Like you're making plans that far ahead.
Do you think about that?
No, I don't.
It's because I want to do everything. So I got to like
I'm with you there.
space it out because I'm going to live to be old.
Well, I hope you do.
And like, I'm thinking I'm going to be better as a musician on stage now than when I'm 90.
Okay, that's fair. Wow,
That's where we're going.
See, these are the things.
I can paint when I'm,
Right.
bedridden.
That's true.
I won't be. Do yoga till I'm dead.
Okay, so besides singing and writing songs, what other instruments do you play?
Do you want to sing a song? One of our karaoke duets?
Hey, you know what? We might do that.
Go there?
We might do that.
Okay.
But no, that's
I
not where I'm
missed your
going with this.
question.
Besides
'Cause we're
singing
really
and
good.
writing songs, do you play any other instruments? I know you play guitar a little bit.
On guitar,
Yeah.
piano.
I've been at parties where you're the person that pulls out the guitar and you're like, hey, everybody gather around.
No, I don't do
I know,
that.
no, I'm just
I don't do that. No.
Well, maybe.
But I own all these instruments that I don't play. And I think of them just as like good company. Like I have a mandolin and a ukulele and flutes and drums and the piano and
Yeah.
banjos, plural. Why? I don't play the banjo.
Why not?
But they feel comfy to have around. They inspire me and they're like, they're good friends.
Well, good. And well, you're pretty sought after in terms of your voice. Like, besides,
Really?
yeah,
That's awesome.
Well, don't you think so? I mean, people want to sing, like, want you to sing with them. Like, everyone from like, like people asking you to join open mics or whatever. Like, I know you've collaborated with.
Yeah, that's
that,
really sweet.
Well,
it's still a little weird to think about it from that way. Like, I just love it. Like, my first thought is like, oh, I get to sing. Like, I just love it. I don't even care.
Well, you have a phenomenal voice, one of the
Thank
best.
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I did go through this thing where it was like in the beginning when like my first on stage thing was back at the Silver Dollar. I was waitressing. I was scooping ice and the band canceled. This was like 20 years ago. I'm going to be 39 on Wednesday. So like 20 years ago, band canceled it.
Same as my mom, by the way.
Your mom's not going to be 39.
No,
we have
but
the
same birthday. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Weird. Hey, Deb. Birthday twin. But like the band canceled. And I remember Steve, the owner, he was like, hey, you and your friends play like in the living room, don't you, or something? Can you like quick scramble? And it was terribly shitty. But like I was like, oh, this is amazing. And then I got like addicted. So like I would just play with anyone.
Okay.
And then
So that was your
kind of like
first stage
sleeping
performance.
around where you sleep around and then you realize this isn't working for me.
I'm familiar.
I need to do, I know you're familiar. I don't know. And so I kind of like went through that relationship with music twice. I did 2 rounds of that where like you were saying, you collaborate, you say yes without discretion.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out really what you are willing to do, what's true to you and what feels aligned musically.
Sure, yeah.
And you get more and more refined.
Yeah, you find your limitations and whatever.
Yeah, and like you can't fake it. Okay, like sex. Like you can't, like sleeping around. Like you can't fake it if you're up on stage and you don't believe in it, I can't do it.
I couldn't agree
I'm not
more.
having sex on stage. I'm just like, I can't
Well, maybe
play music.
maybe that's the problem.
What's going on?
No. No, I know what you mean because I've done the same thing. And
It's just intimate, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
And that's largely
You've done
why I
that.
stopped doing open mics altogether. Like
Totally.
you loved
Totally.
doing, like getting on stage and just playing, but like
Totally.
I remember doing open mics in the early 2000s and like all of a sudden the jam would break into like a
Say it.
like a 3 Doors Down song or something. I don't know,
I was like, what's
this is in this is a 4/4 time in whatever key, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to play this song. I hate it, and I don't want to.
I don't believe in it, and I
Yeah.
can't fake it because it's going to show. Like, I don't want to be inauthentic.
And for the most part, I don't want to play covers, and
No.
I think that's the case for you too.
Yeah, absolutely.
The occasional cover's fine.
Yep.
What's going on? Like, okay, so
there's so much to create. There's so much potential. There's so much undone yet.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to tap into it and throw it out there and see what happens.
Yeah, and beyond that, like even if you're just like, it's like holding somebody else's painting in the air, and like
Exactly.
or holding a photograph you took of somebody else's painting or something like that. You know what I mean?
Ugh, even worse.
It's I mean, like I said, occasionally, a cover, if maybe sort of reinterpreted in your own
Yes,
style
has
is
to be
a
that
different way, but
Reinterpreted. Yep.
but like so from when you started at Silver Dollar or whatever to
20 years.
now,
Yeah.
like was Alma Sub Rosa pretty much the first band setting that you were in?
Of my own, with my own writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Bob threw me a tape. I went up to it behind the lift one day. I was like, hey, let's make music maybe someday. Did you ever think about it? He's like, oh, I just fucked around and recorded these 5 songs. I happen to have the tape, like cassette tape in my car. I'll go grab it. And from there, it was born, and I listened and listened, and it was really cool composition.
I want to say I was in contention for maybe the drum position in the early days.
I wanted you.
Yeah.
Tried to get
I
that.
don't remember why that didn't work out, but
I do.
really? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess. All right, well, we don't need to speak on that. Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah, but so that was like, that really felt liberating to have a hand in the writing and have some loud sound.
Yeah.
4 loud dudes on stage and me. I get to get on the ground a little bit.
Well, what's going on
scream.
with that band? Is it still...
No, sometimes an incarnation of Bob and Sean and myself, just as an acoustic trio, but no.
But it's pretty much defunct now?
No, but the songs still live on.
Well, yeah. And you play some of them in arc numbers now?
Yeah. No?
No?
Nope. Just as when Bob and Sean and I do.
Just the trio?
It'll be listed as Alma Sub Rosa.
Okay.
Trio.
Okay, well, I didn't mean to make that jump. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but...
No.
Okay,
But man,
so...
those guys are amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Jeez.
And Tim, too. Tim is a great drummer, and
Amazing.
in my absence,
I
I couldn't have thought... I couldn't think of anybody...
And we had 3 bass players: Tim Knautz, Dave Morrison, Mike Ironside.
Oh, shit. I
Amazing.
forgot about that.
Like, what
Yeah.
a beautiful group.
So you surround yourself with, like, pretty talented...
Isn't it easy here,
individuals
John?
all the
Like,
time.
there's
It is. It
such
really
a
is.
beautiful pool, and there's a lot of overlapping, and it feels always fresh to me, and
Yeah. It pretty much
everyone's
is always
really
fresh.
just generous, sharing.
Yeah. And this scene's gone through a lot of different changes, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So what about before that, I remember you telling me about working with Track a Tiger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was a band you were working with for a while out of Chicago, right?
Jim Valet was from here, and then but I didn't know him then. I was probably in middle school when he lived here. And he was in Chicago, and I think they have their fourth or fifth album out now. I had recorded on like half of the album of their first 2 albums, and that was it. But that was the end of it.
Okay.
Yep.
So just singing?
Yep.
Okay.
Singing harmonies, which I love.
Yeah.
So much.
I know. And that brings me to
Ozzy Osbourne and Lita Ford.
God damn, yeah. But that's not harmonies. I mean, that was
Okay, it's a
that was a
duet.
straight up duet. And I would like to add that we fucking brought the house down. I don't think I've ever sounded that well, that good.
You're welcome.
You want to do it now?
Uh,
You remember the words without the teleprompter?
No.
No? Are you just saying that because you're scared?
no. You want to start?
My Ozzy has actually gotten to be like sort of cartoonish lately, but okay. Well, maybe we'll come back to that. But
I have my smartphone here. We can
yeah, we could.
everyone will press.
But
off.
yeah, so besides collaborating on karaoke tunes, we haven't collaborated yet, but we will. I think that's still a viable thing that's in our future.
Got to snatch you up before you move out of here. Are you moving?
Well, I don't have any plans to move yet, but I don't know. One of these
Creatives like us, aren't we restless sometimes? We
I get restless.
We just get like, I wonder what else.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I would probably try to find the same things I have now, which is a solid core community,
right,
where I feel safe to be me and have fun.
Right.
I'm so impressed with all the creativity that keeps happening here.
Yeah, I don't think that
This place?
it would be hard to move to a new place and find what we have here. That's for sure. But it's also a nice challenge, you know.
Totally. Could make anywhere work.
I lived in Iowa City for 6 years or something, and there was a little bit of a scene there, but I actually didn't come around to meeting up with any of that scene until like year 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, it's what you put into it, I guess, you know. I didn't play drums for 5 years.
Yeah.
At that point in my life, which is
really,
it's kind of terrible.
Because you're awesome.
Thank you. At the time, I just was, I don't know. I wasn't super happy anyway. And I moved back and I started Grain Belt, you know, and that was like my first kind of foray back in. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. That was a good time. But, so what else are you doing besides, so Arc Numbers playing on Friday.
Yes, Friday here.
Friday the 16th. Besides that, do you have any other gigs coming up or?
Sean and I play once in a while. We're playing at the Cornerstone the night before.
Yeah.
I'm playing a wedding next month.
Okay.
I'm singing the wedding mass.
You can plug that.
I'm
I don't know
not
if
kidding.
people that are listening are allowed to go, but
No. What else? The food and wine. There's a food and wine festival
where's that?
I'm not sure what it is this year, actually. November 6th. But Leah from LMA has asked us to do that the past 3 years.
That's you and Sean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel so fortunate to kind of have, when I said I'm singing a wedding mass, I mean, I actually do wedding masses with my grandma playing the piano.
That's awesome.
And then I like to want to do like a super hard, loud rock show.
Yeah.
And grovel on my knees a little bit and yell. That's great.
Yeah.
I want all of it.
Do you get to do
and
that?
I'm lucky to be able to, have the full gamut.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Do you get to
Singing in churches is not my favorite, but I can do it. And when I'm there, I'm there.
But did you, like when you're doing the church gigs, do you ever get to like, drop to your knees and sort
See
of testify
God.
a little bit?
I do in my heart.
Do you?
Yeah.
You don't physically?
No.
I would imagine that would be a big part of singing in church. Like not, dropping to your knees, obviously, but like, like doing it with emotion,
When I'm there, I just tap into like the history of, I think about all the inspiration that has come from places of worship, and I kind of look at it objectively and historically, and
Yeah.
just enjoy being a part of what's going on in the moment.
Yeah. You are a spiritual person.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you define yourself as Catholic, Christian?
Oh, hell no.
No?
Mm-mm. No. I remember
Just
when
spiritual?
Mom gave me the silent treatment my first year of college when I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I don't want to talk your God language, and I'm not going to church.
Okay.
And then she started to change her mind. That was great. But yeah, no, I think like honestly in terms of like the spiritual world first, and then this is like the physical experience of it. This is the physical playground, and we're physical beings, but we're spiritual beings first.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But you don't identify as anything
No.
necessarily.
No.
Okay.
I think gratitude's a big part of my spirituality. Like I'm very aware that the orchestration of everything is like, I can't think that I know better, that there's a lot of things at play, and just having a lot of trust and going with the flow. Like that's my spirituality, really.
Okay. Well, no, I think that's good.
And when I feel, this is relevant, when I feel closest to divinity is when I'm creating, hands down.
Okay.
I think it's the highest expression of if there's like if there's a prayer for me, when you get in that zone and you're locked into like using what you have for creative expression, that to me is the ultimate.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, that's a good way to actually say how you are spiritual, but sort of not know how to say why. I guess.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well,
like
I'm
that
thinking
makes
about
sense
you.
for me too.
I'm thinking about you. Like how often have you been on stage and you're drumming, and you just like lose track of time, and you feel so good, and you come off and you feel high, and it's just like, to me, that's like being totally in touch.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's that simple. It's like that's like a form of meditation. That's a form of prayer.
Yeah, that's true.
Source.
Let's see. Okay, so what else are you doing? Are you doing anything? You're still teaching, right?
I'm teaching art.
I
get to teach art. How cool is that? I'm teaching it right now at Roosevelt Middle School.
Okay.
And I love those
cool.
kids. Yeah, well, and I have a 13-year-old plus my 4-year-old. But being in the middle school world, it is so wild to bear witness to human development, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. It is crazy. Everyone says like, "Oh, I'd never want to do that again." It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now like social media world didn't exist when we grew up, and thank God, because it's wicked. Did you see the Anderson Cooper piece? I didn't see it yet on Monday. It's called "Being 13." It's about social media, and yeah, it's this 2-year investigation about kids and how social media has changed everything.
Man, I can only imagine.
Yeah, their self-worth is just like, it's shot.
Yeah, I
crazy
don't
rewiring of the brain because of it. But anyway, so I teach middle school art, and then I taught at the alternative high school for years, for 10 years.
I remember that. Yep.
Yep, and I'm doing
R.I.P. Central High.
I loved it. The Central fam.
I was never an alum.
Dragons.
I was never a dragon, but
friends with folks.
I had plenty of friends.
Yeah.
Family members.
Yeah, it really. scooped a bunch of kids up. Pally scooped a bunch of kids up.
Pally scooped them up. Yeah, we got to talk about that. Yes, I forgot about that. Almost forgot.
Yeah. And I'm doing my own business stuff, my health coaching. So one-on-one.
Talk about that.
My business Embody, Renegade Wellness, where I really want to focus on the connection between what food can do for our bodies.
Okay.
And how good we can feel when we're eating the right way. And how our emotional well-being affects our physical shape and moods and all that. So I do, one-on-one with people and then some group workshops. Super awesome.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. And you said it's a business. Are you, is it doing well? How long are you? How long
it's growing.
Is it?
It's mine, so I've had it for about 2 years.
Okay.
And,
I kind of remember seeing videos that you shared on social media.
Oh, yeah. Did you like those? Did you get right to it? Did you light some candles?
I always get a kick out of it because, whenever my friends do videos,
Isn't it fun?
It is, yeah. Trying to be professional. I remember doing the same thing with the record store all the time, making videos of ribbon cuttings and things like that.
It's funny because the person behind the scenes and you see them doing their thing.
Yeah. You're trying to be professional in this video, but I just saw you blackout drunk last night. Or me anyway.
He's
I'm
not talking
about
to me about it.
No.
But
not you.
I always think when I do stuff like that, I'm like, I hope nobody that knows me sees this stuff. I hope I'm just an anonymous person, but
right.
Yeah. And then some stuff at NICC, teaching there. So, but really what I want to do is just be a rock star, John.
Right, I know. That's the ultimate, right?
Really?
I'm not even playing right. Well, I'm sort of playing with Bob, but who isn't playing with Bob? Bob.
Oh! He's in high demand.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's one of the most talented people that we have in this town. But beyond that, he just wants to play with everyone.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah, yep.
And he has all these ideas and,
Ideas.
And he's touring all the time and it's great. Obviously, we're both.
He's inspiring.
We both have stories playing with Bob.
Yep.
But, besides that, I'm not really, I went from, having 4 bands or 5 bands or something 2-3 years ago to, now I'm down to Legal Fingers. We just kind of split up at the beginning of this year. And that's that.
Were you and Rick and Ben ever in a band together?
Actually, yeah.
You were?
We were all in Glimmer Blinking at one point.
Oh, cute.
Ben and I are still in it together. I mean, when we play shows, it's not very often.
Yeah.
But there was a time probably in 2012 to 2013 that all 3 of us were in there. And then...
That's sweet.
Yeah, it was fun. And Sean and Bob and, of course, Beth, the sister-in-law. I think I'm accounting for all the members now. There's been so many revolving members of that band. It's hard for me to remember now, but that's a fun band to play in for sure. So I shouldn't say that one's over yet.
Have you ever made a list of all the people that you have collaborated with in this town? Because now that I'm thinking about it, when you were asking me about those early days, I'm like, whoa, there's some people on my list.
Yeah.
That it's cool, even if it was just for a little bit.
Like who?
Not you.
I know. Still not me. All right. Well, we can get into that.
Actually, I'm looking at those 2 for a hot minute, even.
That's true.
Not you.
I have collaborated with both of them.
Yeah.
And a lot of the same people as you, but not you. No.
Let's cheers to possibility. In the
absolutely.
World.
And possibility is real now. But we can get into that. At the time, you and I have a little bit of a history together, and it just wasn't going to work at that time. That's a nice way to say it, right?
Perfect.
Okay. But not that I always wanted to, and I think that Elma Sabrosa is a great band, or was a great band.
I like how you say it like one word.
How am I supposed to say it?
Yeah, it does kind of bump and roll off the tongue like that.
It's 3 words.
Say it
right?
once.
Alma sabrosa.
I think I notice it when I say
Come
it. I
on.
try to enunciate the 3 words too hard. Alma sub rosa.
So for a long time, I thought it was 2 words.
Because sabrosa is like tasty
Ooh, see,
in
I like
Spanish.
with the rolling of the tongue.
Alma was my first language.
Right.
Alma is soul in Spanish.
Okay.
And then sub rosa is a term beneath the rose. It's like whoever's holding the rose gets to talk. It's like a talking piece. That's like the phrase of it. And then the word soul on there. But sabrosa means tasty. So a lot of people say it like sabrosa. Like tasty soul. Which is not the thing, but I think I like it better.
It's kind of, yeah.
So it's fine. How we did the name was just like had a bunch of random words and like started like that magnetic poetry.
No shit.
Fridge. It wasn't quite like but it was like that. Yeah.
I had a Kids in the Hall magnetic poetry for a while. It was all like, well, it was like a bunch of words.
Kids in the Hall one?
Yeah, it was all like words from the show.
That's cool.
Mixed in with a bunch of words that you need, like
John,
the
do you love
and
Kids
and.
in the Hall?
Well, it's quite possibly my favorite show of all time.
It's big.
But again, that's neither here nor there. And the Pally Mondays thing that you brought up earlier, that was something that we used to do. Mondays, we used to hang out
Mondays,
and
just go drink.
What the fuck did we just go to Fat Tuesdays, pretty much, and play darts.
It's really interesting for everyone.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't get into that.
Yeah. We had a special scoop handshake.
Yeah.
It's making everyone think of their special handshakes they've had in their lives.
It was a fun time. It was a weird time. Like, we were all a lot younger, that's for sure. 2006, 07, somewhere in there, right? Am I wrong? Anyway, it was a time we all used to go and bar hop and Pally Scoop, which was a handshake that me and Rory developed.
I always think about the different bars. Like in this period of my life, these were the bars, and these were the bands, and these were the people. Mm-hmm. And so when you talk about that time, like what was the year?
06, 07.
Okay, you're really good at that. I don't know years, but you think about this is what was going on, and this is what I did. It's cool. But
you're not good at it. So you can't think
the
2006.
Dates? No, I have no idea.
Besides the fact that I'm giving you like a mile marker with the Pally Mondays.
No.
You can't really remember? Okay. Well, that probably would have been Isabella days too. And that's, we talked about that with the old crow.
So that was reading under the influence days too then, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
That was fun.
Joe Tower. Starting that shit up.
And then Ellen and I took it over. That was fun.
Yeah, how did that start? Why don't you do it anymore?
We have talked about resurrecting RUI.
I think that's a good idea.
Because
I read a few of those.
I mean, what a great concept. You have a theme. You invite 3 or 4 guest artists, whether they be mostly like wordsmiths, poets, short story
Case
people.
to Join, I remember read a few things.
Sure. Oh, yeah. We had a bunch of people from professors at universities to young kids and whatever. And then you have a stupid game like one time Ellen and I baked a bunch of cookies in the letters of the alphabet, and then we bought a bunch of cake decorating things and brought 3 teams up on stage and had a contest for who could make and decorate the longest dirty word. So everything was word related.
I have a picture of that, I think.
And awesome. We had piñatas, we had break dancers. Yeah. That's fun.
Always lots of liquor. Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah, you should. You should resurrect him. Why not?
Yeah, because I think people are hungry for people want creative events, and if there's something, and we try to have music, if there's something that's a little bit out of the norm, like having a fish, One time we had this theme of like the parish festival. So we had like paddle wheels. What is it? Like the paddle things and like bingo and like
Paddle
a fish
things.
pond. I don't know. I'm getting off track here,
But themes, yeah. I know what you're
themes,
saying. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You have like weird theme parties and you have it so everyone can go at a bar. That's weird and awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah, there's lots of things like
Who's
that.
going to host it? Right here?
Maybe. I've been hosting this show with limited success, maybe, or maybe I don't know. I don't know how people think.
Double D, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Double
Totally
D.
just poured more in there.
Yeah, well, I thought you wanted me to.
Absolutely.
You said that you wanted to finish this bottle, so.
I was kidding.
Jesus,
Give
yeah.
some more to Matt over there. Look at him sucking it down.
You want some more? But RUI, I think it's still. I think it's got potential. And like you said, yeah, people are looking for stuff to do. That's out of the ordinary. Writers Guild would be another
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
That we used to do that. Like those are always like super fun.
Yep.
And I like to write too. Like besides, creating music, I like to write. And that's my other outlet. So if there was something like that, that would be fun.
You know what? And I'll say this too about this community. It's really pretty easy to make things happen here.
That's true.
If you have an idea, and I keep this keeps coming up in conversation. The whole thing about, and I was saying it before, like how you get from an idea to like the manifestation of things actually happening.
Right.
It's pretty easy here. You have an idea, you tell someone, wouldn't that be cool if, and if you repeat it a few times to the same people or a couple different, then they tell someone, like, someone's got a space, someone's got an open night. You put together a flyer, make a Facebook event, and then you just go. Like it's everyone. And I talk about that with friends from the bigger cities and other places, and it's just not so easy there. There was a woman at Voices she was one of the pioneers of the arts collective that started Burning Man, and she was talking about the energy here in Dubuque and how she was like, this felt like San Francisco did 30 years ago.
Okay.
It's gone. She's like, San Francisco artists can't make it there anymore. That whole vibe that it got,
That's
the
a real
reputation for is totally gone.
shame. Okay.
And
So it's up to towns like our size and
right. And she's had been here for a week and connecting with lots of folks and spaces and places. And she was like, this is totally how it felt. And I was like, that's really
encouraging.
cool. It's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
She's amazing. I honor her. And I feel like I intuitively feel that. And I feel like we get that.
Yeah, I think so.
It's hard to communicate to people who don't live here, who've been out of here for like 20 years and are like, think it's still the place that it was back then. But,
and there's so much of that too.
Oh,
It
there
bothers
is.
me. Even
And
people that
there's this-
haven't left and that just haven't left their house
yeah.
in 20 years,
It's-
they still think it's the same place.
Right. And so it's important for those of us that kind of know better to connect and affirm that in each other. But it was cool to have, and I see that all the time. Friends come in from out of town who don't know it and are electrified by the buzz we have. It's good.
Absolutely. It's like we just had Brett Miller here last week, and he has pretty much the same thing to say. I mean, he's not coming from a bigger city or anything. He's coming from Waterloo, but it's about the same size as Dubuque, and it, shares a lot of the same similarities. Like, so that town, this town, that's where you're going to find the most viable scenes. At least I think so. I mean,
yes,
that's the way it seems. Even like, traveling the little bit that I have, or the little bit that you probably have, like little towns like Stevens Point, Wisconsin, and, like whatever, like it's those little towns that are really the artistic, kind of, I don't know,
They're little
Lotharios.
good word.
Yeah, thanks.
I was going to say pockets, hubs.
Hubs, yeah, I like that. So you like...
That felt really good to talk about that. I feel good about it.
Yeah?
Let's high five.
All right.
That was good.
I haven't high-fived another man in a very long time.
We could make that
I'm sort of
happen.
against it.
Guys, high five.
Okay, I don't mind doing like the one across the room that you can't hear. I'm sort of against it. I think it's a sort of an empty gesture most of the time, but not ours. That was good.
Thank you.
Are you? So I already asked you if you had any other shows coming up besides this Friday. And I'm going to plug that one more time. Yeah, but by the time this airs, it's going to be this Friday.
Got you. The 16th.
So the 16th, yeah.
The Dubuque Area Arts Collective.
Right.
Which
the
is
basement.
The Basement shows, which is an amazing initiative. The whole thing.
Oh, thank you. Not that I had, not that I did it, but I'm part of it.
Everyone. Whose brain wasn't it? Was it Yvonne's brainchild?
Pretty
was
much,
it her
yeah.
vision?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I like when things are cool. I like going right back to where it was birthed. So Yvonne and like that. Like she started talking to people.
Well, she started the salon show,
right?
3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. After,
I think this was the 4th year. I don't know.
Something like that.
Super cool.
And that was,
a need for it.
Based on other, exhibits or whatever in town that, were rejecting other artists, and she did that, and that just kind of spawned the nonprofit that she's running now, which is the DAAC, which is who I represent, who this podcast represents.
Yep.
The podcast, and the the music series that's all spawned by, my brother and everybody involved here today.
Like Rick and Matt are
Drew and
possible.
Me and
Bob.
Mostly
Drew,
those guys, less me, but
Bob.
I don't want to take any credit where I don't deserve it. But yeah, I mean,
so
it's been fun, and
I've
been writing. It gives me something to write. Like something to write for or about. Which I've been doing all summer basically, and I can't say enough good things about how this has been. I love doing this.
Well, and it's in the true spirit of collective. Like I love that the word collective is in this because everybody has strengths and you come together. Like you're doing this.
Yeah.
Beth Eagle is not doing this. Beth's doing what she does.
Right.
And like everyone's got their different thing, and so like the vision is
the collective.
Let's rally.
Yeah,
let's
true.
Commune, and it's beautiful. And the education piece too, like offering classes and just being open to the public to exposure. Come in, walk in off the street.
Right.
It's so beautiful and inspiring, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
Thank you all, and thank you. And remember the last time I was here, we changed shirts.
Yes, I do.
The last time we were drinking this, and no, it wasn't the last time I was here, but I just had that thought.
It was.
You looked really good in my shirt.
Oh, fuck yeah, I did.
Bob and I did a show here, and it was Kevin Greenspan.
It was supposed to be Devin Dart, but he did not show up.
Yeah.
Or he couldn't make it for some reason. So it was just the two.
Why did we change
and I was
shirts?
wearing my because I was wearing my sleeveless Motley Crue girls, and you're like, I want that.
It. Ugh, I want that.
I'm like, well, you try it on for a while and see how you like it, and we just switched shirts for the night.
I looked way better.
You look probably better in most of the shirts that I own, except for the one that you were wearing. I happen to look better.
Oh no!
I don't know why we didn't switch for keeps.
Oh no!
But okay, so what else do you have?
There's so much.
I imagine
in the world.
with teaching, you get to like create something new every day. But
yeah, it's
are you
cool.
working
The
on
kids
anything
are
art-wise, or?
What do I want to do next?
Or are you working on anything? Or
yeah, painting is really.
Yeah.
It's really tickling me. And then I'll get into clay soon at school, so I'll be making everybody think clay things. Watch out.
Really?
Yeah, clay is so awesome. I think it got me through my hardest college year. Just like
so?
throwing on the wheel. Have you ever thrown on a wheel?
I have not.
It is therapy.
Really?
Oh my God. It's incredible. You have to try
it. A shot.
Yep.
Definitely a
Clay.
guy that needs therapy.
You're human. We all need it.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, like any other shows, I just want to give you an opportunity to plug anything that you're doing, because I think most of the things that you that you do are pretty amazing. So
so thank you, honey. I think of I really do have multiple job between teaching in the district and teaching at NICC and having my own business, one-on-one and workshops, and being a mother and being a musician and being an artist. I kind of feel like they're all one.
Yeah.
That because the energy that I want to get and put out is just about connection and healing and making things fun and pretty. And
I like that.
Yeah. Connecting and I read a quote today, make fun your spiritual practice. I'm in. Yes.
Right.
And I'm going to be hosting, I'm hosting my second Costa Rica retreat this year. My partner is Meg Rima from Ignite.
Okay.
And she started Ignite Power Yoga Studio a couple of years ago, and we hosted a Costa Rica retreat in
you
February.
Go down to Costa Rica?
Yep. And I do these wellness workshops, and she does yoga, and so we're doing another one over New Year's, and then I'm hosting some. I'll do another chakra workshop.
Okay.
This fall, which is super cool and transformative, and then the gig's coming up with Bob and some with Sean, and we have the Teresa Palooza coming up at Smokestack.
I saw that. Okay,
Yeah.
so Teresa Gibson.
Yeah, she broke her back.
So
Neil
something.
Porter and those dudes put together a sweet little. They're always doing some do-gooding. I know. There's a bunch of sponsors.
They do.
They want to raise money for contributing, and so it was supposed to be some animal rescue, orphaned moose productions. It was going to be the story was this moose. I don't know. You have to ask Neil about it, but and then this happened to Teresa. So Adam Zelaznik and Neil Porter and some other people are giving. There's a bunch of sponsors anyway. That's a Smokestack coming up, and
you're playing that.
I am. And I'll sit in. I'm playing with Sean, and then I'll sit in with Nate Jenkins.
Cool.
It's just.
Should probably have Nate on this show too.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk.
He just cut a new album, Twig, and I know he's going through some.
He's a good guy though.
Just like him. We were talking about, people come and go in bands. He's going through some transitional stuff and. Musical identity stuff, which is always exciting because change happens because it needs to.
It needs to. You're right.
It's always good.
Mm-hmm. And he's changed a lot. I mean, at the basic level, he's changed into an artist that I like.
Yeah.
I've always liked him as a person, but he hasn't always done stuff musically that I've gotten into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's that. Yeah, he'd be a good one to talk to. Okay, cool. Well, have you anything else? I don't think I don't even know if I stuck with my notes here. Have you anything else to say about anything
forever
regarding Dubuque, music and art scene?
I'm really fucking grateful.
Ruix in general. Go ahead. Please.
Ruix is great. God. The scene, the people that have businesses, the people that are involved in the art movements, there's so many to name. And I'm just so grateful to have tapped in.
I
That's
could not
it.
agree more.
I feel so humbled.
Yeah.
Daily.
Me too.
Daily. And I walk into a place or I see somebody or, I'm talking with you, I'm looking over here, these gorgeous bearded, long-haired men on the couches. And I'm thinking, holy shit, this is my life.
Yeah.
This is paradise.
Yeah. This is your life.
I'm tearing up, John. You made me cry. Double D.
For the listeners at home, she actually is. I can see it. Look at you.
Yeah, I just feel grateful.
All right. Well,
and much more creativity to come. Like, let's like make shit happen.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
let's
I know.
keep like let's
You're right.
like the takeaway from this is like everybody has ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So start spreading them and let's make them turn into actual things that happen that other people can share and participate in. Like that's our creative duty.
I think that's a good plan.
So let's do it.
Yeah.
Co-create.
What about do you have any of your music available
That is hidden
on, well, hidden or otherwise?
in my phone, in my computer. So
okay.
many things.
So
no,
is there
not
anything
really.
up there that people can go and check out?
Mm-mm.
No? What about YouTube videos? I bet there's some.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Do you do that on purpose, do you think?
No.
You try and keep it...
I feel, I said at the beginning of 2015 that this was the year that I was going to like cut my own.
Put out records?
My own. Like
Okay.
all my shit. Like I was going to send the skeletal remnants of songs that I had to people that I trusted and ask. Because I don't really play.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, what do you hear? And then we'd build. And I wanted to, and that didn't happen this year.
Okay.
So I'm hoping next year is that's what I'm hoping. Because I'll be fucking 40 in a year.
Yeah.
Whew.
I know that's scary. The 40s approaching.
I'm ready. I'm getting better.
It's getting there for me too.
Getting better.
What do you mean you're getting better?
I'm getting healthier. I'm getting more comfortable in my skin. I'm getting more bold.
Well, you look great
Let's
too.
do it.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm getting worse, I think. But that's my cross to bear at this point.
No, you're getting better.
Well,
Look at
we'll
us.
see. Time will tell.
Plastic cups.
Plastic cups of Old Crow. But okay. Well, as the first female guest on the Ruix podcast.
Honored.
Yeah, I don't know really where I'm going with that point, but
It's different.
it's different, I guess. And I wanted you to give sort of a feminine point of view on the Dubuque music and art scene.
I think the
particular
ladies need to
because-
step up a little bit.
Okay, well, how do you mean?
I know there are talented women that it's like,
Absolutely
closet musicians and there are mostly like on any night when I go out in this town or in any town, I'm going to see men on stage.
A lot of dudes.
And I don't think about that. I don't think about, I'm seeing a man. Like, it's just,
Right.
Here's how I know where it stands out. When there is a female performing, it's noticeable. And I'm like, I get so fucking excited.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And guess what? All women do. Women creatives and musicians, especially when there is a woman performing, they get excited.
I get excited, quite frankly. Even if it's not that good, like,
Yeah.
I get excited.
Yeah.
Because, it doesn't happen that
It
that
doesn't.
often, especially around here.
I crave it. I want it more. I would love more of a balance. It's not something I think about often, but it gets pointed out to me when I am actually at a show where there's a woman even in the band, not necessarily even fronting it, whatever. But yeah, it's exciting.
And even though this show,
It's different energy.
hasn't exactly, it wasn't planned this way, obviously, and it just happened that way. But that's sort of a good, showcase of how few, women that are working in the arts right now.
Yep.
So, or at least people that we know. I'm sure that they're out there.
Well,
We
I mean,
just
it's
don't know
different in like the visual arts and dance and that kind of thing. But as far as like musicians,
yeah, there's not too many.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I can see.
So
yeah,
come out.
This is
ladies.
This is a call to action.
Call to the ladies. Yes.
Well, you heard her. All right. Well, thanks, Kristina. Anything else to say? Like final words?
No, now I'm thinking of all the women that I know in this town that are amazing.
Yeah.
Musicians. No.
I would like to talk to all
let's
of them.
Let's do it. Let's keep doing what we're doing and making good stuff happen.
Right. All right. Well, I love you.
Thank you.
Thanks
I love
for coming.
you.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, Kristina Castaneda. That was fun. I'm glad that she was able to come down and make that happen. Also for providing the whiskey that we were consuming the whole time. If you happen to notice that we were getting progressively sillier, that would be why, because we killed a bottle of Old Crow together. And we talked about old times and talked about possibly new times. I don't know, that RUI, Readings Under the Influence idea, is sounding pretty good. So perhaps that'll be added to the DAAC/Ruix activity list in the near future. We'll see. But I love her, and I'm glad that she was able to come down and talk to me. That was a lot of fun. And don't forget that she is going to be performing at the Music Series 8 show coming up on Friday. That's October 16th. With her band Arc Numbers, that's her and Bob Bucko Jr., who you know from everywhere. Not to mention the Deep Light, that's Sean Healy's band, and Gosh from the Quad Cities. And then, you can't really find her music online because it's just not anywhere available. You can find Arc Number stuff on YouTube, and I would imagine Bob Bucko's Personal Archives Bandcamp site probably has some stuff available too. But it's not very easy to find her vocal stylings online, so you might have to look for physical stuff. I know there is an Alma Sub Rosa CD floating around out there somewhere. I have one. We might even have some out at CDs for Change too, 3305 Asbury Road, where I work. So come looking. It can't hurt to ask. And if you see Kristina, maybe ask her. She might have some too. I don't know. I didn't think to ask her. But just off the presses, actually within the last hour, we've confirmed Music Series 9. And that is going to feature Kurt Oren and Dana T. from Iowa City. And once again, your friend and mine, Bob Bucko Jr. Now, that is a very familiar bill, ladies and gentlemen. Those three have played together multiple times in the past few years here in Dubuque at various venues. Usually when they get together, they play their own sets and then usually, collaborate on something pretty interesting all together. So I don't know. That's a good one not to miss, for sure. I mean, all of these Music Series shows are good ones not to miss, really. I mean, that's kind of why I'm telling you about them, because I want you to come to all of them. I really do. But anyway, that is going to be on November 1st, Music Series 9, Kurt Oren, Dana T., and Bob Bucko Jr. And then don't forget the Dark Slide Skateboard Show upstairs at the DAAC Gallery on November 28th. You guys, thank you so much for continuing to subscribe. This is, like I said, episode number 10, and we're getting into some bigger numbers now, and I'm really glad for it. Thank you to all our past guests. You guys know who you are. Thanks to Resurrection Mary for the theme song. Thank you, Tim Jansen. Actually, I want to give him a shout out for recording the little spot at the beginning that tells you what show that you're listening to. Tim Jansen was a radio personality here in Dubuque for many years. He also is the father of past guest Casey Jansen, who was a member of Dredge. You probably remember them from way back on the 3rd episode. So, yeah, we got a good thing going here, and we want to keep it going. 10 episodes in, I'm still really excited to continue doing it. So subscribe. Really, just subscribe on iTunes. Check out as many of the past episodes you can that you haven't already. And, of course, I always update the Tumblr page at Ruixzine, RuixZine.tumblr.com. good things coming up, more guests, more stuff for you. Just thank you so much. And we'll see you next episode.